I was born in Sampaloc, Manila, but my ancestry is from the north, Bacara, Ilocos Norte. In the 60s, okay, I grew up in the 60s in the Philippines, and you have to survive on the street. There are three famous gangs, the Okso, Sige Sige, and Bahala Na. And Bahala Na is in our neighborhood, and happened to be my brother is a member as well as my cousin. So I was exposed to that, and my brother and my cousin are like my heroes. And I'm lucky that I came to America, because if I didn't, I would have been either dead or in jail lifetime. There are many things that had happened to me that have changed, and I'm lucky that I did that. I'll give you an example. One of the gang fights we had, I remember we were 5, there's 12 of them. And this boy who beat me up, okay, that I remember his face, he was in my market area. I had an ice pick, okay? And the reason why we use ice pick compared to a bladed weapon, okay, it's very popular because if you use the ice pick, there's no trail blood, okay? You bleed internally. Within an hour, you're dead if you don't get to the hospital, okay? So, and it's easy to get because if you can get a screwdriver, you just file that, okay? So as I was pulling out my ice pick, ready to grab his shoulder because his back is turned, he was looking at an object or something in the market. For some reason, I put my ice pick back and I pulled his shoulder and I shook his hand. That was the day I changed. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, keep going. Isa, dalawa. The martial arts that I knew and experienced is really from the street, okay? And my brother taught me what he remembers from my grandfather. My grandfather also shared with me. Very little, okay, because everything is, so to speak, secretive, so to speak, and especially in the farm up north in Bacara, Ilocos Norte. So getting involved in martial arts at a very young age was, to me, I did it in the wrong way because I had to fight to survive. And almost every block where I going to school, you got different gang kids. And when I came here in the United States, there's also Transcend in Salinas, California. So now we have a gang of Filipinos that I got involved with, okay? The American Filipino kind of like, their chin is up, so to speak. They kind of don't hang around with us because they don't speak the language like we do. And eventually, as I get older, my brother, I got to see him practice in our living room with his friends, and mostly what we call barkada. They're there to drink, chow down some food, what have you, and you know, they would spar and all that stuff and fight. And I've seen all different things and growing up. So, and that's my exposure. My martial arts background mainly first is Philippine martial arts, but I was also exposed in the Shotokan karate. And then eventually I went and studied other martial arts, Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, and mainly Kempo, okay? And I got involved in the Dugan, or what we call Panantukan, okay? Because my brother would actually literally teach me and spar with me, okay? A lot of the empty hand. So I was able to use that coming here in Ohio and help my brother-in-law, who became a 5-time Golden Glove champion in boxing. So it's easy for me to study the other arts. Luckily, there's a what we call God-given gift, as we would call it. And it's easy for me to pick it up just like that. So, and I feel blessed. So, and I've studied the different arts extensively also. But I've studied with different people. When I was competing in my karate program, okay, I met Erwin Balarta, who I defeated. He took second, and he was doing Sparidaga. I was doing Doble Baston form. That's how I met him, and that's how I met Leo Gahi, okay? So how I met Dan Inosanto, I went out to the middle of his seminar. I asked him a favor if I can give a demonstration, and he said yes, and that's how I met him. Okay, And with Remy Presas, he gave me one call one day because I bought some sticks from him. So for some reason, he got hold of my number. He called me up. He said he's going to Florida. He needed a place to stay. So he stayed in my house as I got to meet him. And so with all those three different people of exposure, and through Dan, I asked him, well, I'm going to the Philippines back in 1982. So Dan Inosanto recommended, Guro recommended to seek out the 12 Pares, okay? So those are my exposure. And I realized even though I've been involved with my family art, I feel there was something missing. And with all the different things that I'm learning, it actually woke my mind up. I won't say it's my own because, you know, people think that's own. It's a God-given talent, number one. And when it's given to you, I guess you can consider it your own. But every major aspects of the different instructors I've just mentioned has a little bit of, I give credit to those people, okay? Sifu Dan Inosanto, okay, Kako Cañade, Remy Presas. I give those instructors credit. And finally, when I start sitting down and organizing it, it just starts beginning to make sense for me. I want you to just put your hand here, open your hand, okay, as you punch. Come on in. Like for instance, when I'm training, even though I'm a certified Muay Thai instructor, I put a lot of Philippine knowledge into the training. The footwork, the Philippine boxing into it. And first of all, Muay Thai and FMA are cousin art. It goes all the way back to Sri Visayan Empire, Majapahit Empire. And one thing's influenced the other, but as Guro Dan said, for you to understand your art, you have to study other arts. For you to understand what we call eating spaghetti. I didn't quite understand this until I went to China and studied, okay? And boy, I miss pizza, I miss the hamburger. Eating Chinese food 3 times a day, okay? And I began to realize importance of acceptance of the American food to me, okay? So the influence is there everywhere I go as far as my martial arts. But I always look back in some of the things, the traditional aspects of it, to give respect to the instructors who've given to me. So when I teach, this is where it's coming from and all that, rather than say this is mine. Okay, so you don't wanna go here, and this gives you perspective when you see somebody. What I see in martial arts is really the changes of attitude. Is the ethics of martial arts are sometimes missing. And what I see a whole lot is like the triangle. And people will say the mind, the body, and the spirit. What's missing is underneath that base is the prayer and the meditation. Everything is all physical. And because I've been in martial arts for over 50 years, okay, and I had the chance to really experience things that are not physical in martial arts. And for a person to grow in martial arts, they think it's all physical. And I see this and I look at it because, number one, I've had a student came to me, an interview. And the reason he came to me, he was a Vietnam veteran. He was the first group that went in, infiltrated the DMZ zone. He was one out of 6 that survived. As I interviewed him, I didn't tell him, look, I'm gonna teach you how to defend yourself. Obviously, he knows that already. So through the interview process, it attracted him to sign up with me because of that situation. Because if you go to most martial arts school, what's missing is the healing part, the meditation part, okay? How to heal the body and how to teach the student how to heal another person. Everything is about hurtful things. It's all physical. The world is getting worse, and then everybody in martial arts, all they want to do is just hurt people, okay? So the metaphysical is gone, okay? The attributes of the spirit that goes beyond the baseline of the physical aspects, even the mental, Even the spiritual, it's almost gone now. And that's what's missing in our society. And I think if they work on those, there will be more of united front.